We're joined by Seattle University head coach Cameron Dollar. Coach, can you just start out by telling us about your team and your expectations for the season?
Well, I guess I'll start in the beginning by talking about the end. We had the best run that we've had since returning to Division I, winning 18 games last year and 40 minutes away from the NCAA tournament, being able to play in the WAC tournament championship game, led by some tremendous seniors, two that were all conference. And so now we go to the beginning, and I'm excited about what we return from that team, led by William Powell and Jack Crook, two starters for us that played major minutes for us last year. But then also, I think that we've recruited well and we've developed, and guys are ready to step up so that we can continue to improve on what we were able to do last year. So looking forward to it. Practices have gone well since we started. They've been very spirited and very competitive, and I know the guys are excited to get started.
Coach, you mentioned losing some key starters from last year's team. Are there any players, other than Powell and Crook, that may stand out and have a kind of a breakout year for your team?
They may, but we'll find out when we start playing. You typically don't know until the ball is kind of thrown up. I definitely think we have some guys with the capabilities of being able to do that. But like I said, when we start playing is when you'll really know what you have. But I've been pleased with Jaden Cohey, returning player guard that played for us last year. He's had a good practices in the beginning of this year. And Brendan Westendorf as well is a newcomer for us that has been really good in practice so far, among a host of others. Some freshmen that have played well, a couple redshirt freshmen. But like I said, we're excited to start the season, and then we'll kind of know what we really have.
With the new shot clock change for this season, you could see both sides. There's coaches that love it and coaches that hate it. What are your views on the change?
I'm indifferent to it. As long as we have to use the same shot clock as the team we're playing against, I don't think it matters much. We were fortunate last year, too, because we played in CBI, and we actually played with the shortened shot clock. So we got a chance to see the effect that it would have on the game. I think our guys liked it, but again, as a coach, I'm indifferent to it.
You had William Powell voted the second team, both by the media and the coaches. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Sure. He has been a rock for us, offensively and defensively. He's our leading rebounder, really the heart and soul of what we do on both sides of the ball. Has a knack for coming up with plays and just finding ways to help your team win, take big charges, dig out loose balls. And he's continued to improve each and every year offensively and expanded his game. He is, I love guys like him because you can't box him into a certain position. You look at him and you don't know size-wise what quite is he, but he's a basketball player. And that's the beauty of what he's been able to bring for us, and that he'll continue to do it. He's improved this year with his leadership and really ready to step it up to another level there. And I'm excited for him for these next 2 years for sure.
You talked a little bit about the shot clock. Do you think any of the other rule changes, like the bigger restricted area or the end of the 5-second rule, will have any impact on the game?
The end of the 5-second rule is one that I think will have a little bit more of an impact than people may realize, especially in guarding situations. I know for us in the past, we've tried to use that as kind of a ball pressure mechanism to speed teams up. And I think with taking that away, you really defensively, you can sit back and kind of, there isn't a whole lot that you gain by going out and getting extended and trying to get that call. So that's something that I think will have a little bit more impact than what people may realize.
The Red Hawks are picked to finish 5th in the WAC in both coaches and media polls. What are your thoughts on those predictions?
Same thoughts I had when we were picked higher. I don't think it really matters, to be honest with you. It's exciting from a standpoint of being able to the preseason polls. When I talk about it being exciting, it's good because it gives you something to talk about, get people excited. But where you're picked at in the beginning doesn't really matter. It's how you're going to finish. And so with us, I think we've built our team and we've developed our young players in a way that we shouldn't fall off the cliff from the success that we were able to have last year. And so I'm eagerly excited to see, what that development and what that building looks like. And as are our guys. We had a lot of guys that were okay with taking a back seat because we had seniors that were excelling, that are interested in now in moving up and being more featured. And I like that. And so I'm excited to get them out on the court.
This question comes from a Twitter user at Gabe Ledley. Would love to hear Coach Dollar talk about the impact a kid like Brendan Westenorf can make. He looks like a dynamic player on paper.
Paper has a lot of resources, a lot of things you can use paper for. Unfortunately, winning games is not one of them. But Brendan has done well. He's a newcomer for us that's getting adjusted. He obviously will have to continue to get adjusted to playing in Division I, playing in the WAC. But I've been really pleased with him. He's a really complete guard and can score it, can pass it, provides good leadership at the guard spot, has good length defensively. But I definitely think he's going to come out and be successful and have a really good showing.
You talked a little bit about playing in the CBI. What did that experience do for your team?
Tremendous experience. I mean, not to mention it gave us some of our first postseason wins that we've had in probably 45 to 50 years. But just the opportunity to continue to play on deep into March, and also be able to host those games on our campus from a community and university standpoint, having those games on our campus, the energy that was surrounding them, the teams that we played, some high-level competition as well. It was just a great way for our seniors to go out. You put so many years of work in building it and developing it, and what a great way to send your seniors out with success like that.
DeShawn House returns after back-to-back years with season-ending knee injuries. Can you talk about him?
I would say first off, it's a testament to how he is that he keeps coming back, and he hasn't given up and quit. It's unfortunate that before the ACL injuries, he was on par to be an all-conference type player, and those injuries have obviously slowed him down. This last injury, he came back even better. He's physically in better shape. In some ways, it looks even more bouncy. And we're just taking it in stride day by day, and he's been playing well. He's been practicing well. He's competing hard. He hasn't had very few days where he couldn't go all the way through everything we were doing. He has been cleared physically to be able to do everything. Now it's mentally getting him back and kind of being sure of himself. And so pleased with his overall ability to keep fighting through. We're fortunate. We're going to have depth in our front court to where minutes are at a premium. Obviously we return Powell and Crook, but we have two other guys that are going to be ready to play as well, and then you have DeShawn. So we have some good size down there. So those battles and competition for minutes will be good, but DeShawn is definitely up to the task.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you, guys.